Yes, I did something with my hair. I told you guys I don't like picking it. It was either pick it or cut it. I chose the latter. Put grease in my hair. To any of my ladies with 4C hair, should I get the hair dryer thing? I was in the shower for like 2 hours, separating it and doing all of that. It looks beautiful. Should I dry it? I don't know if these are still a thing, but I remember these things where you just put your heads in these big white balls and then the hair just dries. You like, what's up, guys? Yeah, I made the video about the whole plaque and whatnot. I'm just too lazy to edit it yet, but it's gonna come out randomly. We might be at 200,000 subscribers before I even post a 100,000 subscriber video. But anyways, with Black Friday coming up, I realized that every year I always end up buying myself something that I want. My entire room is filled with what I want. You included. Well, that's coming to an end because a lot has happened this year. We finally hit 100,000 subscribers. I got Winton a brand new sweater. And most importantly, I got engaged to the love of my life. I know, thank you. But I still didn't have a ring for myself. Was I supposed to? Married men, let me know. So I decided I needed to get one. A ton of thought went into getting my fiance her ring, so that I came to the conclusion, why not do the same for myself? And that's where I found myself at Gentle Band's storefront. These rings are fantastic. Each ring is handcrafted by artisans, giving every piece its own unique texture. They come with a one-of-a-kind serial number and an artisan identity card that connects it to the craftsperson who made it, so you can let them know how great of a job they did. Made from sustainable materials in a family-run workshop, symbolizing a confident, grounded, and mindful man. A man that opens the door for his lady when they go play mini bowling. This year had a ton of ups and downs for me. And I mean it, I literally deleted my channel. But I am proud of how far I've came. Big thank you for Gentle Bands for sponsoring this video. And if you're in the market for marriage, or you just want to feel nice, be sure to use my code Joshua25 on their website for 25% off of their amazingly handcrafted rings. This is for sure one of the best gifts you can give yourself, or maybe even that lucky someone who's been through with you. Now back to the video. What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about how grateful I am that I am no longer in school. I had trouble focusing in school. The school lunch didn't make focusing any easier, and all the teachers were mean to me, especially my math teachers. Did that happen to any other artists in school? Can anyone else explain that phenomenon? Or was it just my math teachers that hated me because all I did was draw in their class? Again, teach. Focus issues. I'm really trying to nail this Goku drawing. I actually haven't drawn a Goku. I'm gonna go get it. Ta-da! Goku. Honestly, I hated and still hate school to this day. I hated every grade of school. Except for elementary school. I missed when having a 24 pack of crayons and running faster than the other malnourished students in your class made you the head honcho, okay? I could draw the crappiest SpongeBob, and as long as it looks like him, the bitches will eat it up. I don't know if anybody my age has noticed or have cared to notice, but school nowadays isn't as private as it used to be when growing up. Since everything is on the internet nowadays, that means even the best or worst school experiences can be shared across the globe, making nothing really sacred anymore. I mean, if it gets a couple of teachers arrested, that's the good part, but I mean, I don't know how to phrase it. Something about sharing a specific experience with a group of people in the local area. It kind of builds memories. I guess that's how memories work. Nothing is really a private experience anymore. Everything is shared everywhere on the internet. There's no more local. Which brings me to the one thing that I'm kind of glad that I got to experience without the influence of it being put on TikTok, and that was bullying. Yes, I was bullied. Can you believe that? I have a reverse widow's peak. My name is weird. I'm short. I was easy pickings. And I got bullied by everyone too, not just the jocks. It wasn't just the meatheads. I wasn't all there academically either. That's why Gilbert would laugh at me, because I thought Punnett Squares was just telling lame jokes to losers. What? I'm not wrong. See? This is why I got wedgie. I was punched. I was kicked. I was made fun of a lot. It was mostly just being made fun of. Those kids had a lot to say, but at least it was before the internet. This is gonna hurt to say, but when I was a kid, I know. We had the internet, but we used it correctly. YouTube was for Nyan Cat and spliced anime episodes. Google was to play the Minecraft demo on the computer lab alone while the other students had a full copy and got to play Hunger Games. Even though they called you a loser for liking Minecraft, but they had the full game anyway. Care to explain? I say all that because a recent trend was brought to my attention, and I don't think this trend is a trend. It's just bullying. I was introduced to the flipping the camera trend about a week ago. And the premise is that you hand somebody the phone and they kind of dance, if you can call that dancing. It's more like they're trying to grab something from the back end of a fridge, but everything in that fridge stinks, so they're just kind of just like trying their best to get to it. But the joke is that after a while, they flip the camera on you so they can show the person watching the TikTok how ugly you are. Or chopped, as the kids like to say, nandeo. What makes this trend terrible is that the camera person is aware the younger they are. This trend is used on a couple of older people, so they're completely unaware. That makes that bad for them. But when it comes to people our age and younger, if somebody hands you the phone like this, and they're like, oh, just record us doing something, you can obviously kind of feel what goes on as soon as they do this. Right, and flip. Try it again. When they do this. Because if somebody handed you the phone like this. Are you serious? Well, that's yourself. Correct. Looking rather dashing today. Like this. It doesn't even matter what you're doing. I'm already expecting some BS from a mile away. Because as soon as somebody walks up and they start tapping the screen to do this, you can tell that they're flipping the camera because it's such a common feature. And you want to know how I know? You want to know how this connects to my game theory? If we take a look at the examples and we see it happen to younger people, you can kind of see their demeanor change as soon as they get done tapping the camera because they know.
Hey, editing Joshua here. I'm sitting here editing this video not knowing what the fuck the point I was trying to make. I think the point I was trying to make was that younger people can tell when the camera was being flipped, but I don't really think so. Because there's an example of an old guy also understanding that the camera was being flipped on him as soon as they flipped the camera. I want to apologize on Joshua's behalf. I don't know what the hell he was doing in this chair. Maybe the grease got to him. Maybe it's because he didn't dry his hair. So I will be taking tinfoil Joshua out back and shooting him. Killing him won't solve anything. I feel like I should now add a new take. It's extremely messed up to these kids, especially since school can be one of the loneliest experiences of your life, especially if you haven't found that group of friends yet. You can imagine how heartbreaking they must feel when a bunch of new kids come up to them. They're like, hey, we want you to be involved with this TikTok we're filming. Film us dancing, we're having fun or whatever. Just for it to backfire and turn out to be a joke about you because you happen to be not wearing the latest clothing, or you happen to look weird, or you're maybe possibly on the spectrum. Just any reason for you to be picked on because you're different. You know what? I just had the perfect idea. We need to bring Carrie back, but we gotta Gen Z-ify it. So instead of the pig's blood in a bucket and you pour it on her at prom, you do the flipping the camera trend challenge. Hey Carrie, could you record us? Me and my friends, we want to record a quick dancing TikTok. This one is for sure to get 1 million views. Okay, sure. All right, thanks. Yo, Carrie, it was just a joke. All right, I'm glad you're taking it as a good sport. Hey, yo, Carrie, back up, girl. I have a girlfriend, okay? Hey, what are you doing? Oh my God! What did you do? What did you do? How do you like it?
I've already seen examples of people giving justice to people participating in this trend by breaking their phone, which I think is fair. But this trend is also done on older people who wouldn't disrespect you. They don't even know what's going on. And then other kids that probably have some form of social anxiety, they're being approached by this freaking gaggle of kids, and they probably have anxiety. There's so many factors to it. I think this just goes to show you how evil kids can be sometimes. Not even a punchline, just straight up being mean. One of the worst things about the trend is that the more you go down the rabbit hole, the more you start to notice a pattern of the people being picked on. And I'm not even surprised at this point. High school is where you go to learn how to be the most judgmental loser on the planet. You just go to school, click up with a bunch of other kids who feel they also need to act cooler than they are to make them feel better than most of the other students in the school, even though they were conceived at an Andrew Schultz performance. What? Yeah, Andrew Schultz is so unfunny, everyone in the crowd just started fucking each other. That was the only way they were gonna get what they paid for. Okay, let me take these glasses off. This freaking thing is in my way. Guys, fund my LASIK. Good LASIK. I don't want to wear glasses anymore. Glasses are off, all right? These are heavy and they're hurting my nose. But I also want to preface, I'm not being that guy who's like, do you notice the patterns of these victims? Notice how they all look weird Notice how they all look weird. They clearly have some form of ADD, autism, or Down syndrome. I'm not being that guy. That would be ableist to the... I can't assume that any of these people being picked on have some sort of anything going on just because they look different. But it's like, clearly they look different. They're going to look different because they're real people with real feelings. And the more and more this trend grew, the more and more backlash it was starting to get, rightfully so. And later down in the days, you start to notice something within the captions of these videos. You start to notice a lot of copium now when people start posting them. Oh, this is all love. I know this kid. This is my uncle, y'all. He is in on it. Guys, it's just jokes. It's not that deep. Of course it's not that deep. I haven't even put it in yet. Sorry, so your joke was so terrible, I'm gonna try to have quiz with this manatee. Hi, my name's Christopher Columbus. Not only do you start to see a lot of copium in these comments, but you also start to notice that the comments are magically turned off. I thought the purpose of this video was for people to comment about how funny it was. Weren't you supposed to leave the comments open so us as the commenter can comment about how weird the person holding the camera looks? Surely people aren't gonna call you out for being the absolute piece of filth that you are, piece of filth. Surely people aren't gonna call you out for being an absolute garbage human being. And to add on to it, if they weren't in the wrong, then why did I have to resort to downloading these TikToks to show them? Because I knew that they were going to delete them. It's almost like you should be ashamed of yourself. There isn't really enough footage to make an entire video about the flipping the camera trend subject. But it does make me beg the question. What? No, the fuck it doesn't. What? I don't need to beg the question. I'm not that thirsty. I then came to the conclusion that most trends nowadays, or most trends in general, are just bullying in disguise as trends. Don't agree? Well, let's take the performative male trend. You know, the trend that was made in the beginning to help people kind of see the red flags in men who were just faking it to take it.
You serious?
That sounds crazy. I mean, a way to warn women about men who are just faking their interest just so they can get cracked. You heard me. I know what some of y'all are into. Y'all some Then it was transformed into bullying men for having genuine interests in these so-called performative things, when in reality, they found another way to call men gay.
Hey, yo, your headphones aren't even plugged in.
I'm on a call.
With who, your boyfriend?
Excuse me!
Or how about performative male's gender bend OC popular girl humor, which is just revenge of the nerds. Hey, hold on. I understand completely. If there's anybody that understands the concept of being into something that nobody likes and then people coming to like it even though they bullied you for liking that thing, I'm that guy. I was bullied for watching anime by guys who liked WWE. I know they're both fiction, but my goat shits on people while your goat shits on people. But how else was Five Nights at Freddy's gonna get the movies that it deserved if it wasn't popular? What, did you think that your entire room full of FNAF merchandise was gonna be able to pay off the likes of Josh Hutcherson and Matt Pat? Megan Fox is there too, but she should be doing it for free. Y'all saw her in Mortal Kombat, right? Clothing trends in general have the most bullying going on in that community, especially when you're in school. If you weren't wearing the latest shoes, shirts, or underwear, did I just throw up another accidental gang sign? You weren't being praised, you were being made fun of for being poor. Cringe culture, which is just a way to make fun of people with different interests or people who act different in public, which is also still the most popular way of bullying to this day. Oh my goodness. Quarter zips. The longer that I let this script sit, the more examples that I get. I need to stop procrastinating. On the outside, this one seemed pretty harmless. It's just the tech bro vest recycled. The issue is that it already lost the plot. I think that it's really nice to see young black men get excited to dress formal and kind of make that a trend. If you showed that to any 40-year-old black guy, he would do backflips. He would be in the hospital after, but he would do backflips. Unc ain't got it like he used to. But they immediately started to segregate themselves from themselves by besmirching anybody wearing a Nike tag and attaching it to being just a ghetto, dangerous stereotype. They started off right, and it's gonna end right. That's right, folks. I'll be here all weekend. Let me know what you need from me. Look, I'm all for uplifting my black brothers and sisters, but why would the CIA be mad that black people can dress nice, casual, formal, words? If anything, they got you right where they want you. Because instead of judging a man for his character, you judged a man for his clothes.
Hallelujah. Tell him, Praise the Lord. Tell him, Pastor Josh, keep preaching it. Keep preaching it. Yes, God. Yes.
It's the hair gel. I'm not sweating. Because let's not forget that your man in the quarter zip can get you laced up for no less than a quarter.
Oh my God.
I know I may not have the exact words, but just you wait until Antonio drops a video on this subject. I'm with him. Why are we so intrigued with just making fun of people who don't do us any harm? I'm not gonna sit here and take some sort of moral grandstand. I make fun of people all the time by myself, with other people, my closest friends. I love it. I'm not gonna lie. It's super fun. It's funny, but I'm never going out in public trying to degrade these people. It's my job. It's one thing to be like, yeah, that person's acting like an anime character in public. That's kind of weird. And then to turn around and be like, but she has 2 chins. Wait, that's kind of funny. Hold on, I gotta hold it in. One of the most dog shit talking points that I've heard from the pro-bullying community is BBB. Bring back bullying. This anecdote is used to excuse or validate bullying because it worked on them. If by work you mean you got leg extensions because you were bullied for being short, then yeah, man, I guess it worked wonders. Barely being able to do full sprints or else your shin will explode is awesome. The easiest slasher movie victim ever.
I'm gonna kill ya! Please don't kill me! I wanna be a basketball player when I'm gonna kill this guy!
Bullying does not get taken as seriously as it needs to be, and I honestly think America's portrayal of it in media is to blame. People do harm themselves from all types of bullying, especially online bullying. As funny as it is, it's not as simple to... And I mean as funny as the concept of just closing the laptop when someone's making fun of you. Bam, got you. But yeah, as funny as it may seem, it's not as simple as just closing your laptop or turning off a game, because words do hurt. And instead of teachers and staff taking the actual time, care, and dedication needed to express bullying's negative impacts on people, they assemble every student into the gymnasium to watch the local daredevil kill himself after his failed BMX stunt. They invite Andrew Schulz as well, and since it's a high school, they just maul him to death. I can understand why these younger kids nowadays are not religious. They not even making it to hell. Satan's clutching his person walking across the street when he see these new kids. Again, huge thanks to Gentle Benz for sponsoring this video. I still don't have a name for you guys, so just imagine that I do, and I'll see you later.